Talk to me about your creative process. You talked to me about how it was before, your inspirations. What's it like now? What's your creative process now? Has it changed? Do you find things that work for you? Do you find ways or moods that you can create easier? Before you answer that, actually, I want to talk about a little bit about mine, just to relate on it a little bit, because I feel like with artists it's crazy because it's you kind of almost need to be in a certain mind state. You kind of almost need to live life a little bit, and that's what I realized when I was a bit younger, because I tried to create when I was like around like 18, 19, but I found it difficult to just make things from nothing because I had no experience. I had nothing that I was drawing from, right? Until I got to a stage in my life where I started experiencing stuff, and because I wouldn't talk about it with everyone else, I had you can sit and talk about it with almost yourself. Almost you're talking to yourself, whatever you're writing or whatever you're doing, stuff like that. So that kind of relationship, building that. And like sometimes I would write and like I'll be able to discover more about myself through the stuff that I would write, because I read it later. Be like, holy shit, I really think that. That's crazy, you know. So talk to me about that process. What is that for you? Do you relate to that?
I completely relate to that. I think that's the best way I've ever heard it explained. To be honest, I couldn't explain it better myself. I think for myself, the moods I'm in to write music that come easily to me is when I'm sad, because a lot of my music is like very sad and like darker, and yeah, when I've gone through something or I'm feeling just down, I think it's a lot easier for me to just sit down and focus. Because if I'm happy and I want to do something, I don't want to sit down and make music.
Exactly, you just live in life.
I want to go out and I want to go on a fucking run if that's what I feel. I want to come here and chill with Connor. I want to go skate. I want to go do something. I don't want to sit inside and make sad music. You know? But I can't make right now. I feel like I can't really make any other music, even if I write a riff on guitar that isn't sad, it will still have a darker element to it, just because how I do it, because I grew up with heavy metal and rap, and like it's all just darker. And I think the creative flow is I also drink a lot of beer. I'm trying not to get to me. I'm trying not to, but it's slowly getting to me, man. I'm so scared.
You'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
I need to start working out properly. like shit, it's actually getting to me. I'm really scared. I'm really scared.
You're not gonna stop drinking beer. You're gonna start working out.
Yeah, I'm gonna start working out. Yeah, exactly. I don't work harder, work smarter, man.
Yes,
by working harder a little bit. Just
it.
a little bit.
I love it. Yeah, creative process.
Yeah, creative process.
So okay, so run me through imagine like you're saying you're on one of your moods and you're sad and you want to create. What do you do? Do you sit down with a pen, paper? Do you riff?
Okay, so normally when if say I have made a beat and I really like it and I'm getting into it, what I'll do is after the beat I'll sit and I'll write lyrics. No matter how long, even during making the beat, I'll sit and write lyrics. And then normally I don't record straight after, but if I am, I'll just record straight after and then just make it up on the spot. Not like doing the whole thing, but I'll do layers. I record myself like 8 to 12 times.
Alright, let's break it down.
Highs and lows.
So first the beat first. Like what
I
is
always
it?
do the beat.
How do you start making a beat? What is a beat? How do you make a beat? Like
imagine
I'm a stupid idiot. How do you make a beat?
A lot of my recent beats have been from a guitar riff that I'll create. And that's just normally literally sitting around and fucking around with the guitar, like everyone else. Like you just sit around. I'll find. It sounds like so cliche, but I literally find a fret on the guitar.
Do you want to get the
just
guitar?
like,
and let's run through one.
Yeah.
Let's try. We're not gonna make a beat now, obviously, but I want to like get the visual of like how you're going about in your mind doing it.
String guitar. So say I wanted to create something right now. I'll literally just sit and feel like something that feels like the mood I'm in right now, so I'll find something like. So then that sounds cool, right?
Yeah, I like that.
Like then you just those first two sounded cool, right? So you can just go. Yeah, and then you can just figure it out. It should be in drop D right now, but it's not. And then you can just. Yeah, so there you go. And then you've got a little thing going on, you know?
That's crazy.
Like something like that. That's very.
How do you know it's done? How do you know you got to a place where you can move on or you can like build on it?
So to a place where you can move on and build on it is my way of doing it. I'll create something like that. That was very simple and not that good at all. But I'll do that. And
I love how every musician will always be hard on themselves. I literally asked this guy to just pick up a guitar and play anything without any like preamble. He did it and he's like, oh nice shit. Of course, but you just did it out of like random thin air. But anyway, I understand.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But like, so yeah, what I'll do is, so I did that, and then what I'll do is I would practice it up until I'll practice it up until it is perfect, in my opinion, up until I've got the riff itself down to a T, and I can play it perfectly again and again and again and again without fucking up, and then I'll record it on my phone, just solo over it. And just that doesn't mean going crazy. That just literally means layering it as much as you want.
Voice or with
with the other guitar, and that guitar I don't record. I just remember it. Okay. And you just create other sounds over it, and you just I can sit and do that for hours.
Really?
Like I'll come home from work and stay up until like 3 a.m. doing that.
Just playing the guitar.
Just sitting there playing, and I haven't been doing that much recently because I've been working a lot, so I haven't been having that much energy. But now I think I've done it enough that guitar's not gonna just fade away anymore. It's I'm at the point now where it's there. So that's the process, and then I can, for a beat, I'll do that with the guitar, find out what I want, remember the layer to it, and then I'll plug in my microphone to Logic Pro, record the guitar if it's 12 string or if it's my Dean ML over there behind. I will plug that into my Redbox and just create like just play the same thing, but that way it's actually plugged into the laptop, so I don't have to record it through a microphone because that 12 string isn't electric.
Very basic. What's the difference between acoustic and electric guitar?
Electric, you can plug it in and have an amplifier from it, whether that's through your DAW or through an amplifier like a physical amp. And an acoustic is you can have electric acoustics as well, which is the fucked up thing. It's crazy nowadays.
Yeah.
But I don't like acoustic. Is a lot louder, a lot more soulful.
But what's an advantage of an electric and an advantage of an acoustic?
An advantage of an electric is that it's lighter and you can carry it around and like play live shows with it, you know, like you can plug it into it, you can amplify it, make the sound a lot louder. Whereas an acoustic is good, it's loud, but it's not like it's not like a stadium loud.
Yes.
You know?
It's more
like, it's
for
good, for a crowd of people, like a small crowd, like sitting inside and playing to yourself and like making stuff up and stuff like that. Do
you prefer? Is there one you prefer out of the two?
I way prefer playing songs I know and playing songs I've already made up on my 12 string. But I think I also make the best songs on my 12 string because that just has a beautiful sound to it. Because there's 12 strings. Normally a guitar has 6 strings, but the 12 string obviously has 12, and each string there's also another string on it that is an octave higher. Or an octave higher, however you want to say it.
That gives you more range to be able to actually
more range
do more.
And like more, and it's just a wider sound. It's if you think of it, the sound is double.
Yes.
So you have more room to create.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I just love it. I think it is the most beautiful sound I've ever heard in my entire life. I always say to myself, it sounds like angels crying. You know, like
that's amazing.
It is so beautiful. I love it. And I prefer playing 12 string to myself, but like I think when I want to do like heavy shit, it's nice to play on the electric, but then sometimes even when I make a heavy song, I can't play it on electric. I have to play on 12 string, otherwise it doesn't sound the same because I wrote it on the 12 string. There's no either or. You can't prefer one or the other. It's each song is different for each thing. Each song is different for each thing. Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. I think that's so cool. I think like I'm still learning about guitar, and I've told you like I want to learn how to play guitar, and I think that the process, and you mentioned like you have to have a love for music, and I feel like I do, but like I feel like the level of focus and dedication you guys put on, like you said, like doing it every single day, like maybe it's just a passion, like a hobby I have, but it has to be a passion for you, and I can really see that every time I come here, you guys just surrounded by guitars. I think it's so cool. Talk to me about some of the difficult parts about learning and playing the guitar. What are some of the stressful moments or like the the hard parts about when you're learning, when you're trying to make a music, trying to make a sound, and you're just doing it over and over again, but you're not getting it quite right? What's that feeling like?
That feeling is definitely annoying. Before I even started making music, I always referred to it as the writer's block. But that was before I learned it. And then I was like, oh yeah, I'll never get fucking writer's block. It's bullshit. I love music. Like, I'm too good. You know?
I'll never feel
like that, man. And then literally recently, about 3 or 4 months ago, I started getting writer's block, and it was fucking horrible. And I think it comes from a level of anxiety. It's not because nothing's happening. It's not because something's happening. It's because you don't know how to deal with what is happening. And you can't change that if you don't change your way of life. So my way of changing that was start reading a fucking book, man. Start staying outside. Start staying off my phone. I started exercising even a little bit. I stopped smoking weed. You know, like I stopped doing stuff that would bring me small levels of anxiety and give me more motivation. And stopping smoking weed was a big one for me. Even though I'll occasionally have a couple puffs, but I no longer smoke before I go to sleep. Whereas for years, I would smoke every night before I go to sleep. But I can't do it anymore.
What do you think about that? Like, they say creatives have to, like, a lot of smokers say they're doing it because it gives them creative inspiration. But you said that actually it gives you more anxiety. What do you think about people who say that then?
I think that they haven't been smoking weed for as long as I have.
They haven't had the time in the game.
I think
not put the time into this.
Yeah, I think I smoked a little bit too much weed. You know,
when did you start smoking weed?
Properly when I was 14.
Fuck.
Like 6 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, and when I say a lot of weed, I would, like, through secondary school, I'd go through an ounce of weed a week.
In secondary school?
Yeah, and I would, like, buy 2 ounces, sell 1, and then smoke the other one. And just from selling it, I could buy another 2.
Ounce. That's economic. That's
and
smart.
I could just keep going and smoke for free and sell.
That's
and
crazy.
I wouldn't have to pay for weed. And because I got caught up in that myself, I just smoked all the time. And it was just my way to get out of what was going on at home. And then I grew up a little bit, and not saying grew up as in like, oh, you have to grow up. I just meant like physically aging a little bit. As time goes past, I realized instead of hiding away, I had to actually face. I wish I sat and faced my problems. So now I could have the zoot and not stress out. I wish I faced it head on and just dealt with it and sat down with whatever the problem was and sat down with my family and like enjoyed my time more.
But life is perspective though. Like,
life is perspective, yeah, it completely is. Exactly. And I wouldn't think the way I do now if I didn't do that.
Didn't go there before, yeah. So
exactly, 100%. Which is so true. And yeah, I wouldn't change anything for the life of me. If someone gave me a choice, take this pill or that pill, this pill can change everything, start again, or this pill you can like have $10 million. Like I would say neither of them. Like
okay,
I don't want to change anything. But yeah, you writer's block. Yeah, it can get stressful, but just gotta keep going and realize what's actually good for you.
Okay,
just realize what's good for you, you know.
Yeah, and I 100% agree. I mean, I think that like. Yeah, especially when you want to take it seriously. I think if anything like that, you gotta like understand what works for you, not get caught up in what your friends do, not get caught up in what everyone else around you does. Because I feel like, yeah, some people that does work for them, but like that's not you. Sometimes, you know, you gotta understand who you are in that sense. Okay, cool. To close out this, I know we can go on for long about music, and I do want to, at the end of this episode, I want you to play one of your songs for us just to end it out. I think that'd be cool to end it. But just to close out the section about music, I want to ask you some quick fire questions about some of your favorite musicians.
I love that.
So just start with that. Who? Give me your top 3 music artists you would recommend to people out there to check out.
Okay.